You know you're poor when you're washing your school uniform on a Sunday night with a bar of green sunlight. And it's also the same soap you use for your body, your dishes, and the dog. You know you're poor when you boil water on the stove just to pour it into a cold bath like you're making human tea. You know you're poor when it's load shedding, but it doesn't matter because you weren't using anything anyway. You know you're poor when your mom tells you to go open for the microwave because the door spring is broken and she needs you to hold it while it runs. You know you're poor when your slippers are just old techies with the laces removed. You know you're poor when you have a whole drawer full of used margarine tubs, peanut butter jars, and ice cream containers, but not one of them has what the label says. You know you're poor when you wear jeans until they become shorts, then use the off-cut denim as a dishcloth. You know you're poor when the sugar is locked up in a cupboard with a padlock like it's gold from Kruger. You know you're poor when you go to the petrol station and ask for 10 rand. You know you're poor when the TV is broken, but the stand is still in the lounge, just in case you fix it someday. You know you're poor when you use a cracked mirror with a missing corner and you gotta tilt your head just to see your whole face. You know you're poor when your ringtone is always on silent because there's never airtime to return calls anyway. You know you're poor when your mom keeps the plastic from the bread to use as sandwich wrap for the whole month. You know you're poor when you borrow a school blazer for photo day and hope no one notices the badge is for another school. You know you're poor when your wallet is empty and every coin feels like a small fortune. You know you're poor when your shoes are more than a little worn, yet you wear them with pride, knowing they've walked many miles. You know you're poor when dinner is often just one slice of bread shared between siblings, but it's the love that fills the room. You know you're poor when your bedroom feels more like a storage space than a sanctuary, yet you still find solace in your dreams. You know you're poor when your car is more of a reminder of hard times than a means of transportation, yet you cling to the memories it holds. You know you're poor when a trip to the store means more about counting coins than it does about shopping for what you want. You know you're poor when you sit on the couch and watch old movies on a flickering TV while holding a cell phone with a cracked screen. You know you're poor when your shoes are held together with colorful cable ties and you place them proudly on a makeshift shelf. You know you're poor when your fridge is almost empty and all you have is a single pot on the stove. You know you're poor when a child's face lights up while eating a simple meal from a chipped plate, finding joy despite the circumstances. You know you're poor when you buy a packet of knickknacks and eat it with pap as a full meal. You know you're poor when your school bag is a ShopRite plastic bag and if it tears you just double bag it and keep pushing. You know you're poor when your toothpaste is finished and you start cutting the tube open, then use a spoon to scrape out the last bits. You know you're poor when the kettle doesn't work so you boil water in the iron. You know you're poor when your curtain is just a tastic rice sack nailed to the window. You know you're poor when you know exactly which cousin to borrow school shoes from because you wear the same size. You know you're poor when you fix your shoes with cable ties and act